Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're all well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. So today we're gonna find ourselves doing the exact same thing we did over the course of yesterday, right? Just simply breaking down my strategy for each and every single one of you. Obviously, this is not the only video or only content that I have based on my strategy. I have a whole playlist you can find yourself going to go and rewatch, right, and see how I am coming to the charts on a day-to-day basis, right? Because it's super important for each and every single one of you to know beforehand when you're gonna come to the chart, what you're gonna do, right? Basically just saying having that plan in place. I know everybody is saying that you need to have a plan in place, you need to be disciplined, you need A, B, C, D, and E, but it is so true, right? It's like going to the gym, right? If you want to go to the gym, 9 times out of 10 you don't feel like going, right? But you have to find yourself going to the gym and able to have a better physique, right, or have a better body whatsoever. And going there, you will get somewhat of a result, right? However, if you go to the gym but you don't know what you are going to find yourself doing, you're trying to figure things out when you're at the gym, you're not necessarily going to find yourself seeing results, right? So you have to have a structured plan. Monday, I'm doing back and bicep, right? Tuesday, I'm doing chest and tricep, right? You have to structure everything you have to find yourself doing. Same thing when it comes down to trading, right? Beforehand, you already have your plan in place, right? In what you're gonna find yourself doing and how you're gonna find yourself approaching price to make your journey easier, right? Because I do know that for many people it is a struggle. You know what, you are gonna find yourself having your struggles. We all do have our struggles, right? You are gonna find yourself feeling fatigue. We all have those actual moments, right? But it is super important for you to just know that, hey, whatever I have to do, I have a plan in place, right? And whenever I have my plan in place, just know that you have a goal as well, right? Because when you have your goal, you know where you want to go. Sometimes life is gonna life you, if I can put it like that, right? But you still need to find yourself keeping that goal active, keeping that goal alive. All right. So let's tap into the market and let's see what is happening over here. All right. So we can look at the daily time frame and we can see that we are still within this range bound market we have found ourselves having throughout last week, right? And these areas that we did find ourselves boxing out was areas I did find myself boxing out over the course of this week as well as yesterday. So please do make sure that you are finding yourself going back to our content and basically just go and re-watch that. All right. So starting from our daily time frame, what we can basically see from our current candle, right, or our current day's momentum price action, we can see that we did find ourselves taking out the previous day's low, right? So that simply means that there is a possibility for us having that actual reversal back towards the downside, since we are looking at weak structure, right? So that is just something that I am finding myself having in the back of my mind, right? I'm just simply building confluences based off what I am seeing within this area right over here. Okay, and since we did find ourselves breaking the previous week's, well, the previous day's low, and we are all within this range bound market, there is still that possibility for us to see some shorts finding itself opening up, right? So when I'm finding myself doing something like that, right, I'm 9 times out of 10 go with my higher time frame bias, right? So if I see that my daily is signaling that I can find myself going short, right, all I'm gonna find myself doing on my lower time frame is see, hey, is it making sense, right? Is it making sense for me to find myself going short? All right, and that's basically what we are going to find ourselves doing as if now. Okay, so we did find ourselves boxing out this beautiful BOB over there as well, and look at that, we basically respected this area. We have a beautiful shift back towards the upside as well, right? Clean stuff. Ask yourself, is that random? It's not random, right? It is not random. Okay, and looking at current price action over here, we can basically see that structure is basically telling us that we are somewhat bullish in market structure. Okay, we are still somewhat bullish in market structure. with us basically, you know what, we haven't found ourselves closing yet, but right now we have found ourselves closing. So this whole area over here is basically serving as an area of demand for where price can find itself coming all the way back down into, right? Something like that. Boom. For potential shift back up and potentially back down. Okay. And as if now all we try to do is trying to be reactive based off of what the New York Stock Exchange have installed for us. Okay, so clean stuff. Demand, we do have our demand area boxed out over there. I'm just gonna find myself removing that to have a more clean chart. Okay, same thing is basically being painted on our H2 time frame, right? Area of demand has been created. So all I'm gonna find myself doing is just making it a little bit smaller. Okay, I love a neat chart, right? I don't like a messy chart. Honestly, I don't. Let's scale to our 1 hourly time frame. Let's see what's happening over here. 1 hourly time frame, painting the exact same picture below price as well. Created a BOB, closed above, came back for the retest. We had a shift back towards the upside as well. Over here, we created an area of, you know what, it's kind of like a range bound market, but you know what, if you want to consider this as a BOB, we can, but we can see that we did find ourselves tapping within our BOB, and now we currently can see that we are having somewhat of an actual rejection from this area onwards, right? So yes, there is that possibility for us to see that actual short finding itself coming through, right? Maybe we can find ourselves taking advantage of it if our win to reward ratio is allowing us to do so. Okay, so daily, well, 30-minute time frame, right? 30-minute time frame. Let me just see some. Created a BOB, haven't came back for the retest, so we need to find ourselves coming back within this area, which is still lining up within our area of demand. All right, so I'm gonna remove this, right? I'm gonna remove that, since we already do know that our area of demand is basically coming through from this whole area onwards. Okay, so now once again, midnight candle, let's try and identify it, right? And this is where your plan comes in, right? This is where your your rules come in, right? So all we're gonna find ourselves doing as if now is find that midnight candle, which is coming through where, boom, right there, right? This bull candle right there. That's our midnight candle. Let's identify our daily highs and our daily lows. Okay, daily low coming through right there. That's our daily low. Daily high is coming through right over here. Okay, daily high is coming through right over there. All right, and what did we say? All we basically need to find ourselves doing is seeing if we can have somewhat of an actual shift from an actual, what is this? Is this serving as a premium area or as a discounted area? This is currently serving as a premium area, right? So all we basically want to see price do is move from this premium area all the way back down, back into a discounted area, right? Simple. And if it was vice versa, all we want to see price do is come from the discounted area into the premium area. Simple. And once again, check this out. Can you see that this discounted area is lining up within our area of demand as well? Coincidence? Nah, right? So our area of demand is a valid area to where we can potentially see price come all the way back into, right? We can also look a little bit left and we can see that we are finding ourselves having an area of supply coming through over here as well. I'll just mark that off as an area of supply. And then all I'm going to find myself doing is see within this area of supply, is there any magnets within it? We had an inversion fair value gap there, but we came back for the retest, right? We have this huge BOB as well, right? We had the closure below. We just came back for the retest. So you know what? There's not much we can find ourselves doing when looking at structure over here. Let's see on the 1 minute time frame. Let's see if the 1 minute is showing us anything. BOB Close below, came back for the retest, BOB, close below, came back for the retest, BOB, close below, came back for the retest. So all magnets has been tested over here as well. All right, so the what now? What now? What are you gonna do now? So all I can find myself doing at this moment as well is the following, right? I actually do want to see price have somewhat of an actual shift back towards the upside, right? At least take out my daily high and then give me my pattern so that I can find myself going short. Okay, that's basically what I want to see. That is an A setup, if I can put it like that, right? That will be an A setup. If we can see price create the pattern over here, right, and not basically find myself taking out the daily high, this will simply mean if we are gonna find ourselves having the shift back towards the downside, we are over the course or throughout the day are gonna find ourselves then having to have another actual shift back towards the upside to basically go take out our daily high, right? Is that something that I don't, well, is that something that I want to see? Not necessarily, right? And this is only based off what I said on the daily time frame, right? Daily time frame, we took out the low, and there is a possibility with us basically taking out the low, there is a possibility for us having that shift back towards the downside, simply because, you know what, if we're going to look at weak structure, we are creating a lower low. If we're going to look at overall structure, we are within a range bound market as well, right? So there is that room for us to have that actual shift back towards the downside, and that is ultimately what I am going to find myself waiting for. Short term, where can I find myself taking price back into my area of demand? We have found ourselves creating, right, on our H4 time frame, which is coming through right over there, right, back into my area of demand. So can you see everything is basically built based off confluence, right? Everything is built based off confluence, and that's literally all you need to find yourself doing on a day-to-day basis. If your setup find itself coming through, cool, you are all good to go. If it does not, right, you don't need to find yourself participating in with price. All you can simply find yourself doing is just monitoring PA. All right, so that is literally our analysis for this day. So all I'm gonna find myself doing at this point is just simply wait, right? And I will be back at 9:30 with each and every single one of you. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you guys are loving this type of content. Let's go. All right, so 15:30 is here, and we had a nice little shift towards the upside, right? Basically, just what we wanted. We wanted to see the daily high being taken out, and currently we can see that the daily high has been violated, right? So what do we do now? Let me remove this, and then all I'm gonna find myself doing is the following. Boom. Now we can find ourselves going short. Nice little 1 to 2 ratio. Now we can find ourselves going short, right? Just wait for the actual pullback. Just wait for that pullback, because I did find myself missing this. If I have to jump in right now, then hey, you know, I'm gonna mess myself up. So I have to wait for the pullback. Okay, so let's wait for the pullback. All right, y'all. So today, no trade for me, right? But ultimately, you guys can still see that it's the exact same thing, right? The exact same principles. I could have found myself going short over there as well, right? But unfortunately, my reaction was just simply slow. But nonetheless, you know what? If there's no setup, there's no setup, right? If you don't need to find yourself sitting in front of the charts whole day, every day, right? You just simply wait for what you want to see, and you are just simply gonna find yourself reacting based off what you one, right? So I'm calling it a day on my side, guys. Listen, make sure to have somewhat of a system on your side as well. You can find yourself doing it on your own. And other than that, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Much love from me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.